Welcome back to another Sunday walk video. So in this video, again, I will give more thoughts about what happened a few days ago, leading up to today. Something big was announced today, which is why crypto is rallying now, and what to expect this week. All right, unless you've been living under a rock, I think you know what has happened. I put out 2 videos about this already, and everyone else is talking about an X. But basically on Friday, right after market close, and the markets weren't doing too well to begin with, Trump put out something along lines of like, China's bad, they're trying to strong arm us, or something to that extent, or something, and then we're going to throw 100% tariffs on top of the tariffs that's already placed on Chinese goods. Okay, and then after that, we had the biggest liquidation in crypto history, 20 billion to be exact, although estimates are a lot actually higher than that. 20 billion is just like what people could see from the public data, but estimates are more like around, I heard, like 50 billion. It was the most catastrophic liquidation event we have ever seen. Even at 20 billion, it's 2x more than FTX collapse, right? It was insane. I remember pulling out my phone and looking at some of these crypto fell down instantly, 50, 60%. Some even fell to 70%. Minus 70%, keep in mind. Across the board, like if you go down CMC, everything fell down that much before recovering back up. Okay, it was total panic, total chaos, and everyone's pointing fingers, right? I think the biggest liquidations came from Hyperliquid, and then Binance, and then I'm sure Aster and many other things, right? So, first of all, I already said this. Just because he announced 100% tariffs, we know it's a negotiated tactic. We know it's not going to be set in stone. And for sure, that kind of announcement should not have dropped crypto that much. If we announced we were going to war with China and we were starting World War III, then that makes sense. But just saying we're going to have 100% tariff made no sense whatsoever. Right? And I already speculated, many others speculated, that this was all due to some groups. One group, many groups colluding with each other, saying that it's time to drop the market because it's too frosty or heated. But what they didn't know, I bet, was how catastrophic things became because there were things that they didn't know about. For example, like Binance, for example, locking up all the funds and causing more panic. So yesterday, or the liquidation on Friday, just got way worse than I think anyone ever anticipated. Especially for alts, right? But I told you guys, hey, not the end of the world. Bull run's not over. Altcoin season's not over. Okay, we go through these stints, but we will recover. And we did. We did. And we're recovering more today. Not fully, but we are recovering. Bitcoin's back to 115, 116. Again, even at 116, we're not very far off from all-time high. So keep that in mind. Now, I looked at the alts. A lot of the alts are down, besides BNB. I wonder why. Besides BNB, most are like down 15 to 20%. So some of the alts are still down from their previous high from last week, right? But the world didn't end for crypto. Nothing really fundamentally changed. And now people are just wondering what to do. Like I said in my last 2 videos, you just got to take advantage, right? If you believe in a project, you believe in its future, You just got to see things as a buying opportunity. That's it. That's the only way to do it. Panic dumping never helps anyone. Those that panic dumped a few days ago while the scam wicks were happening, well, those people either lost a lot of money or they're forced to buy back in now and have less of what they had before. Right? So panic never helps unless you're about to become liquidated. So that's what made it worse. I think it's just a lot of people had too many longs, and then they saw the massive wicks. They were either deleveraged or liquidated instantly. And those that didn't try to sell and hit sell, or sell all, but since all the funds were locked up, it didn't matter. So it just caused this catastrophic thing to happen, right? Now, whoever the insiders are, I don't think we'll ever know, but they made a fortune. A lot of them sold ahead of time. Some had their shorts open, but the timing of it was just too particular for some of these moves, like right before this announcement. But guess what? We got another announcement today. Trump today tweeted out or posted on Truth Social, hey, let's not worry about China, okay? President Xi is a good guy. He had a lapse in judgment, but we don't want to see them go in depression. We want to help them, so we'll work it out, basically. So basically, within days, it made it seem like he sounded an alarm, like, oh my God, this is the worst thing to happen, and we're going to throw penalty tariffs on them. To now, a few days later, like, oh yeah, don't worry about it. We'll get through it. It's not a big deal. It makes you wonder if the insiders knew that this was going on and what was going to be posted, right? So after today's tweet, I mean, we were a little bit in recovery already, but after today's tweet, we see more recovery. So it would not surprise me we see more recovery tonight. And we may not get all the way back to Friday levels, but we could. We're not that far off. So maybe. So as for Monday, tomorrow's holiday, a banking holiday, Columbus Day, but US markets are not closed. So I'm thinking like Trump actually put that tweet out because maybe all the people were going to tell him that Monday was going to be catastrophic for markets. So that's why he put it out. Because if people look at how crypto reacted, maybe they're equating to the stock market be the same. So I don't know. Now that he put out that post, we could actually see a normal day or a green day tomorrow, because on Friday it was actually pretty bad. So we could actually just see recovery. Or we just see a red day, but not nearly as bad as it would have been. So either case, it's better than pre-post on Truth Social. Let's just put it that way. All right. So outside of these things, this coming week, really no macro stuff. I guess we'll just have to wait to see if there's more tariff stuff, because that's the only thing. With the government shutdown still ongoing, there's not a whole lot of data being released. I heard that the Fed is going to hire some people for something that's supposed to come out this week. I forgot what it was, but with the government shutdown, I said how stupid it was that no one seems to work and no one could get these numbers, which makes no sense whatsoever. So I heard that they're going to rehire some people to come out with, I think, the inflation report or something like that this week. I'm not 100% certain, but the whole thing was just ridiculous. But anyways, I don't think we're going to see a lot of macro stuff other than if we get more news about tariffs and whether we have come to a deal with China or not, and all that good stuff, right? But in the end, what should you do about all this, right? Well, I think really nothing changes. If you got liquidated, it's unfortunate. Learn from it and pick yourself back up. Maybe you just stop playing with leverage altogether. But I know most people that play with leverage will continue to do so, and I continue to do so. Every time I say I'm not gonna do it anymore, but I do it, it's kind of becomes an addiction, right? But you can make good money if you know what you're doing. If you have good risk tolerance and you set stop losses and you play the market like a robot, you can actually do well. But if you're blindly gambling and throwing like 100x or 300x, thinking that's going to be the path to wealth, forget about it. You're not going to win, right? So if you continue to do leverage, play it safe, learn. Like I said, my boot camp, which is actually going to happen next week, I believe. You can sign up for free. It's in Discord. At least learn from people that actually know what they're talking about, right? But yeah, going back to what I was saying, if you got liquidated, it sucks. Pick yourself back up and learn from this. If you're just a spot holder, then really, again, you just take this as a buying opportunity. Okay, it's one more thing that you could say you lived through, right? Although this wasn't nearly as bad as 2021 when Bitcoin fell 50%. From 64,000 down to 28,000. When Bitcoin falls 50%, that's a massacre. The alts went down, I don't know, but I'm gonna guess probably 80, 90%. So it was worse than what we've seen, but the numbers were not as big. That's why this crash was the biggest we have seen, because market caps are much higher now. But yeah, that was bad. I lived through that. A lot of you guys lived through that. A lot of you guys lived through FTX. A lot of you guys lived through previous, crypto winters. This would just be one more thing you lived through, something that you can learn from. But ultimately, if you're a spot holder, it's not really difficult. You just continue to hodl and DCA into the projects you believe in. Obviously, Bitcoin. If you're an ETH holder and you believe in ETH's future, you DCA more ETH. If you're a SOL holder and you believe in SOL, you stay into SOL. And same with XRP and ADA and Link and AVAX, right? Some of these I looked at are down 20+%. SUI is down 20-something%. AVAX is down 20-something%. I think I saw like XRP, ADA, SOL is down like 12 to 15% from a week ago. Okay, not all-time high. I think ETH is down about 10. Bitcoin is slightly under 10. So we're definitely recovering, but not all the way. So it's a good buying opportunity. But another lesson is make sure you have cash on the side, right? I've said that before. Always recommended 20, 25, 30% in cash. For moments like this, you can use it to DCA, which is great, but you could also use it to just buy the dips when opportunities present themselves, like now, right? Yesterday was even better. And yesterday night, we had a little shakeout too. I don't know if you guys noticed that. It seemed like we had bottomed and then things went down even more. So that's definitely the market makers giving you like a FU. Basically saying, oh, you think we're done? No, we're not. We're gonna drive things lower, because I'm sure a lot of people played some longs yesterday. All right, guys, that's about it. Let's see what happens tonight when Asia wakes up, whether they're going to join in the buying, and we can see a good recovery leading up to tomorrow. And we'll see what the markets do tomorrow. Is the U.S. market going to be red, deep red, or possibly green because of that post? I guess we'll have to see. All right, guys, for the rest of you guys, stay strong, stay focused, continue to hold on DCA. I'll see some of you guys in Discord. A lot of people have been joined Discord. It's a really popping community. Love to see that. And I'll see you guys tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. All right? Have a good one. Take care. Bye-bye.